sit down, the closed office drawer, the look on their face when they realize this is the end. I've seen terminations done incredibly poorly, yelling, screaming, humiliating people in front of the team. But I've also seen the opposite, dragging your feet, tolerating toxicity for months, and bleeding your best performers because you were too afraid to ask. Here's the truth. Firing isn't punishment. Firing is leadership. And the way you do it reveals more about you than it does about them. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership Fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, we're going to dive into how to terminate or fire without regret or recoil. So let's dive in. This is where leadership stagnation destroys dealerships. When leaders won't make the hard call, mediocrity becomes the culture. And you see it in 100 different ways. The sales manager who poisons meetings for a year because the GM couldn't summon up the courage to fire him. The service advisor who's just killing CSI and everybody else is just tiptoeing around him. The tech who's always cutting corners and all of a sudden good enough becomes the new shop standard. And here's the ugly cost, and it's not just money. It's your culture. It's your credibility. It's bleeding into your home life because the conversations you're avoiding at work, you're carrying home with you right into your living room. All that frustration, it just stacks up. Because here's the truth, terminations aren't about destruction. Terminations are about protection, protecting your standards, protecting your culture, and protecting the legacy that you're building for your family. So here's your tool for the day, the Grace plus Guidelines tool. I absolutely love this. 5 lines, simple. Say them clearly, say them calmly, and say them respectfully, and you can absolutely make terminations something that are clean, clear, and effective, and not something to be avoided. Number 1, state the decision. Today is your last day with us. Don't dance around it, no long speeches, just clarity and to the point. Number 2, honor the person. I want to thank you for the contributions that you've made here. Even if their performance wasn't that great, they still are a human being worthy of dignity and respect. Number 3, name the standard. And this is the phrase. This decision was made because the standard that we hold wasn't consistently met. This is not about personal revenge. It's about alignment with a standard. Number 4, outline the next step. Your phrase is, here's the next step with HR, paperwork, and final pay. Remember that confusion builds resentment and clarity closes loops. Number 5, leave the bridge intact. Your phrase, hey, we wish you well in your next endeavor, and I hope anything you learned here you can take with you and use in the next place. Because how you end things echoes. And you can destroy bridges, or you can leave a crack open in the door because you never know what's going to happen in the future. That's it. 5 lines. No shaming, no hedging, and no regret. A clear path forward that once you make the decision, this is how you execute. Think about the ROI on this. You save months of wasted payroll. You save top performers who don't get discouraged and disgusted at your lack of action. And maybe most importantly, you bring home peace instead of constantly stewing and churning on stuff that you're putting off that you know you need to do. That's a pretty good return. Here's what every elite operator knows in their bones. You're not firing an employee. You're firing mediocrity. You're firing drift and dysfunction. And what you're really doing is you're protecting and defending your culture. You're planting your flag in the ground and saying, I stand for this. So here's your insight to action bridge for today. I want you to think about your team and be honest with yourself. Who on your team, if they reapplied for their job today, you wouldn't rehire them, knowing what you know now? Because if you wouldn't rehire them, why are they on your payroll right now? That's the litmus test. And I want you to run that. And if you find someone that passes the test, then I want you to set a termination date and use the Grace and Guardrails protocol that I just shared with you, those 5 phrases, and have that conversation and begin today to protect your culture. Because war room leaders, elite operators, we don't recoil from hard decisions. We act with clarity, with conviction, and with compassion. So here's the question. Who are you tolerating right now in your company that's costing you credibility? And if a name came to mind, it's time to act. This isn't about cruelty. This is about courage. And when you terminate right, do it properly and well, it's not just about ending something, it's about resetting the standard for everybody else who's watching. Because as war room leaders, as elite operators, we don't shy away from the hard call. We don't tolerate mediocrity, and we don't let fear of conflict negatively impact our culture. So go out today, have those conversations, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the dealership war room.